Sexyy Red reportedly believed nobody would take the situation seriously when she made public comments that appeared to threaten Tay Keith, just days after those remarks started spreading online.
It feels good to see her career, be at the point where, she's at now. We've been putting on for, I guess, the culture for the past year, so it's definitely a good moment to be here for, me and her,
Tay Keith was reportedly found deceased in his apartment, and reports now claim investigators are looking into whether anyone connected to the situation could face legal consequences. These claims remain part of ongoing public discussion and have drawn major attention across social media. What makes the story even more surprising is that many of the songs that helped build Sexyy Red's career were reportedly produced by Tay Keith himself. Yet during the final stretch of their working relationship, fans felt she was publicly disrespecting him, even though many believe he played a huge role in helping her reach the spotlight. Those moments quickly became a hot topic, with people questioning how things could have gone so wrong between two artists who once worked so closely together.
Tay Keith's legal battle with Sexyy Red was unresolved at the time of his death. According to legal docs obtained by TMZ, Tay sued Sexyy Red back in March.
Tay Keith had already earned a huge reputation after producing massive records for artists like Travis Scott and Drake. His credits include Sicko Mode, Non-Stop, First Person Shooter, Look Alive, Jimmy Cooks, and Rich Flex, proving he was one of the biggest hitmakers in the industry. According to the story being shared, some people later distanced themselves because they weren't excited about his decision to work with a newer artist like Sexyy Red, and supporters believe that partnership eventually turned into a very difficult business situation. For anyone unfamiliar with how it all started, Tay Keith reportedly reached out to Sexyy Red while she was still an underground artist with very little mainstream attention. He is said to have worked on music with her without expecting immediate payment because he genuinely believed in her potential long before she had a breakout hit. That decision reportedly sparked criticism from some people in the industry, but Tay Keith still chose to stand behind the music because he believed it could become something much bigger. Tay Keith later shared that he received a huge amount of criticism for choosing to work with Sexyy Red early in her career. According to him, people constantly mocked the decision, not only because he was helping without expecting immediate payment.
Love seeing you have this moment right now, and I love that it's with Tay too, because I just think it's just a match made in heaven. And it's funny because when I had Tay here earlier this year, I don't know if he mentioned it at the time, but it's just funny thinking about how at that moment this mega hit that y'all just both
and
had.
he didn't even know.
And it was so early on too.
Yeah, because we ain't know that mug was gonna do what it did, but.
Right.
But also because many doubted her style and didn't believe her music would ever connect with a wider audience. Even with all that negativity, he stayed confident because he believed she had real potential, and that was what mattered most to him. He explained just how intense the backlash became, saying, "People were trolling the ish out of me. They were real deal trolling me. It wasn't much good feedback. It was coming from even people around me. What you doing? I saw the potential." That's as simple as it was, me believing in her. We got a genuine brother-sister relationship. I F with her heavy. I feel like we make the best club music right now. That's my sister. No rap cap, no fake ish, all genuine love.
So apparently Sexyy Red never paid Tay Keith for several beats. And I just saw her tribute post to him yesterday. How do you know you're in a legal battle with someone, you're not paying them? You're even posting them saying that you're like family. That's nasty work, I'm not gonna lie.
Those comments made it clear that he truly believed in the partnership, even when many people around him questioned the move. Supporters often point out that Tay Keith played a major role in shaping Sexyy Red's early catalog. He produced tracks like Pound Town, Sexyy, Get It Sexy, along with work connected to and Sexy Why We Trust, helping create the sound that introduced her to a much bigger audience. Because of that, many fans feel his contributions were a huge part of her rise in the music industry and shouldn't be overlooked. As her career continued to grow and she signed with Rebel Music Group, some fans began to feel the dynamic between the two had changed. Online discussions suggested that their professional relationship was no longer as close as it had once been, with people speculating that both sides had started focusing on different priorities. While opinions vary on exactly what happened, many followers continue to debate when and why the partnership appeared to shift. According to the version of events being shared online, Tay Keith and Sexyy Red reportedly had an understanding that if her career reached the next level and she signed a major deal, he would eventually receive compensation and royalty payments for the work he had already done. Since he had reportedly spent a long time producing music for her without immediate payment, the expectation was that everything would be sorted out once the project started generating real income. However, when that moment finally arrived, the situation reportedly became much more complicated. Claims circulating online suggest that responsibility for those payments was shifted to her record label, with the position reportedly being that the label, not the artist herself, would handle any producer compensation. Tay allegedly tried to resolve the matter directly, but according to the lawsuit, he felt the issue remained unresolved despite repeated efforts over an extended period. The disagreement eventually moved into the legal system, where Tay Keith filed a lawsuit against Rebel Music Group and Sexyy Red in March 2026. According to the court filing, he alleged that he produced 13 songs for Sexyy Red in 2024 and claimed those recordings generated significant revenue through streaming, sales, licensing, and other commercial activity. He further alleged that he had not received the producer compensation and royalty payments he believed he was owed under their agreements. It's important to separate the legal claims from speculation. While the lawsuit contains allegations about unpaid royalties and compensation, allegations are not the same as proven facts, and the dispute would ultimately be for the courts to resolve. Likewise, any online claim suggesting that someone was intentionally harmed or that another person was responsible for Tay Keith's reported passing have not been established by publicly verified evidence. As described in the lawsuit, the central legal issue was whether he was properly compensated for his production work, including any upfront fees and royalty percentages he claimed he had earned. According to the lawsuit, Tay Keith also alleged that the label did not provide detailed financial records showing how much revenue the songs had generated through streaming, sales, licensing, and other commercial uses.
Cause I was like, when I first made it, my people was like, man, send him that so he don't think you just playing on his beats. Like, cause people, people gonna get on his beats and rap serious and stuff.
Of course.
I'm on there just freestyling, just saying, crazy shit. They like, send him that and make sure he approve of this.
Right.
But he was fucking with it. He was like, this hard. But I don't think he thought it was that hard until he seen how people was like, they like, damn, like, yeah, it's really that.
Without access to those records, he argued that he had no reliable way to calculate the compensation and royalties he believed he was owed. In the music industry, disagreements like this are commonly described as accounting disputes, where producers or artists seek financial transparency before royalty amounts can be verified. In his court filing, Tay reportedly asked the court to require the label to produce the relevant financial documents, determine whether any royalty payments were owed under the parties' agreements, award any compensation the court found appropriate, and clarify the label's legal obligations. These were allegations made in a civil lawsuit, and they would normally be resolved through the legal process rather than through public opinion. Shortly afterward, reports stated that Tay Keith was found deceased in his Nashville apartment during a welfare check conducted by officers from the Metro Nashville Police Department on June 18th. Authorities publicly stated that they had found no evidence of foul play at the time, and any determination about the cause or manner of his passing would depend on the official investigation and findings. Following the news, friends, collaborators, and fans shared emotional reactions across social media. One longtime friend and collaborator, JB, posted tributes, including a photo with a heartbreak emoji. Another older picture of the two together with the caption, "Damn, cousin, you just hurt me bad," and a screenshot that appeared to show they had been speaking frequently by phone. He also wrote, "We talked every day. You didn't tell me you was leaving?" Those posts reflected his grief, but any claims circulating online that attempted to connect specific individuals to Tay Keith's passing remain unverified speculation and should not be presented as established fact without credible evidence or official confirmation. After sharing those emotional tribute posts, JB made another post that quickly spread across social media. In it, he accused Sexyy Red, Travis Scott, and Drake of being responsible for what happened to Tay Keith, writing, "Sexyy Red, Travis Scott, and Drake, y'all gonna pay for what you did to my boy Tay. On God." The post immediately sparked intense debate online. But it's important to note that these were JB's personal allegations and have not been supported by publicly verified evidence or official findings. No court or law enforcement agency has publicly concluded that any of those individuals were responsible for Tay Keith's reported passing. As those accusations gained attention, discussion also turned back to Tay Keith's ongoing lawsuit. According to statements released by representatives for Rebel Music Group, the legal dispute was reportedly moving toward a resolution before Tay's passing. That announcement led to even more online speculation, with many people questioning the timing and wondering what had been happening behind the scenes. However, speculation on social media is not the same as verified fact, and there is no public evidence establishing a connection between the lawsuit and Tay's reported death. The label's attorney, Jamaica Davis, released a public statement expressing sympathy over the loss. According to the statement, Sexyy Red is overwhelmed with grief at the devastating loss of her dear friend and artistic collaborator Tay Keith. Tay was a brilliant artist, and through his close musical partnership with Sexyy, he became a genuine friend to everyone at Rebel. That statement reflected the label's position. While discussions surrounding the lawsuit and the circumstances of Tay's passing have continued separately through public reporting and ongoing conversations online.
So BlocBoy JB allegedly posted this on his story the day that Tay Keith passed, saying that he was coming for Drake, Travis Scott, and Sexyy Red, that he was threatening them. This has been circulating online, but we have no confirmation as to whether or not he actually posted it, because apparently it was deleted immediately after, conveniently.
As the lawsuit and Tay Keith's reported passing continued making headlines, public attention shifted toward what investigators in the courts would ultimately determine. While social media was filled with theories and accusations, officials had not publicly announced evidence connecting the ongoing royalty dispute to Tay's reported death. That distinction became an important part of the conversation, even as emotions remained high. At the same time, the legal dispute over producer compensation continued attracting attention throughout the music industry. Producers often work behind the scenes, but cases like this highlighted how disagreements over royalties, contracts, and accounting can become major legal battles. Many people within the industry pointed to the situation as another reminder of how important clear agreements and financial transparency are when hit records begin generating significant revenue. Fans also revisited Tay Keith's career, remembering the long list of chart-topping records that helped establish him as one of hip-hop's most recognizable producers. His collaborations with major artists had already secured his reputation, and many supporters argued that his contributions deserved far more recognition than producers typically receive. Across social media, tributes poured in from listeners who credited his signature sound with shaping an entire era of rap music. As investigations and legal proceedings continued, many questions remained unanswered until official findings or court rulings provided more clarity. The claims circulating online remained just that, claims. For now, the focus stayed on honoring Tay Keith's musical legacy while waiting for verified information to emerge through the proper legal and investigative channels. While headlines focused on the lawsuit, another conversation was happening behind the scenes. Music producers across the industry began discussing how often they end up fighting for proper credit and payment after helping create hit records. For many people watching the case, it wasn't just about one producer. It became part of a much bigger debate about how business is handled once songs start generating millions of streams. Industry professionals pointed out that royalty disputes are far from rare. In many situations, producers negotiate for an upfront fee, a share of royalties, or both. When expectations aren't clearly documented, or when the parties disagree about what was promised, those disagreements can end up in court. That's why accounting records, contracts, and payment histories often become the most important pieces of evidence in cases like these. As the legal filings circulated online, fans searched for old interviews and social media posts, trying to understand how a partnership that once appeared so strong could eventually turn into a public legal dispute. Earlier interviews showed mutual respect and excitement about working together, making the later disagreement even more surprising to many followers. However, without access to private conversations or complete business records, much of what people discussed online remained speculation rather than established fact. Even now, the case continues to spark debate about transparency in the music business. Regardless of where people stand, one point drew broad agreement. Producers play a major role in creating the songs that shape artists' careers, and disputes over compensation can have lasting consequences for everyone involved. As more verified information becomes available through official sources, it will help paint a clearer picture of what actually happened behind the scenes. As public interest grew, legal experts reminded people that lawsuits and online accusations are two very different things. A civil lawsuit is designed to resolve disputes over contracts, payments, and other business matters, while claims made on social media do not establish that someone committed wrongdoing. That distinction became increasingly important as the story continued to spread across different platforms. Another topic that gained attention was the relationship between artists and producers. While fans usually recognize the performer, producers often spend countless hours shaping the final sound of a record.
Tay Keith's legal battle with Sexyy Red was unresolved at the time of his death. According to legal docs obtained by TMZ, Tay sued Sexyy Red back in March, claiming that he produced 13 songs for her in 2024 but was never paid. He also claimed that Sexyy and her team refused to even provide the accounting for how much these songs made, so he didn't even know how much he was owed. And he was asking the court to force her to turn over the accounting, declare that he was in fact owed money, and award damages.
Their work can influence everything from the beat and arrangement to the overall direction of a song. Because of that, producer credits and royalty agreements have become a major issue throughout the music industry. Several well-known producers have spoken publicly over the years about the importance of putting business agreements in writing before a project becomes successful. Industry veterans frequently advise new artists and producers to keep detailed contracts, maintain accurate financial records, and clearly define how revenue will be divided if a song becomes a hit. Those precautions can help reduce misunderstandings and make future disputes easier to resolve. As discussions continued, fans also reflected on Tay Keith's impact on modern hip-hop. His production style helped define numerous chart-topping songs and influenced the sound of a generation of artists. Regardless of the outcome of any legal proceedings, many people agreed that his work left a lasting mark on the industry, and his catalog continues to be recognized by listeners around the world. In the statement, attorney Demeka Davis also expressed sympathy, saying, "We send our sincerest condolences to Tay Keith's family and loved ones." She went on to explain the label's position, stating, "Royalty negotiations are handled by labels, not artists, and I've worked closely with the legal counsel and team for Tay Keith to finalize the royalty agreement to fully compensate him for his valuable contributions as a musical collaborator with Sexyy. In fact, we were in the final stages of getting Tay Keith fully compensated before his shocking passing this week. We are expediting the finalization of this work with Tay Keith's attorney so that full payment can be made to his estate as soon as possible." Those statements reflect the label's account of what was taking place at the time. Not long afterward, Sexyy Red also shared a tribute on social media featuring photos of the two together. Her caption read, "Blood in, blood out. We brothers but not related. I love you, brother. Still the best duo." The post quickly drew thousands of reactions, with supporters expressing condolences while others questioned the timeline surrounding the royalty dispute. As with many high-profile stories online, the comment section became filled with a wide range of opinions and emotional responses. Some commenters criticized how the business relationship was handled, with one writing, "Producers built her whole sound and she couldn't clear the tab on 13 beats, including Pound Town. Tay Keith gave her hits. She gave him a lawsuit, then RIP posts. This industry eats its own. Pay the people who make the magic or it won't last. Rest easy, Tay Keith. The tag lives forever." Another commented, "She's so fake, posting that man like they were close friends the whole time. She's not giving him no type of credit. She's sick." These are opinions expressed by social media users and should not be treated as established facts. As for the larger questions surrounding this story, official findings in court proceedings, not online speculation, will ultimately determine what happened and whether any legal claims have merit. Until then, it's important to separate verified information from rumors circulating across social media. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the royalty dispute and everything that unfolded afterward? Do you think situations like this show the need for stronger protections for producers in the music industry? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who follows hip-hop news. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.